Welcome back inside the Suburban Ford 7 Sports Cave. We've come over to the bar set now to talk a little bit about the number one team in our hearts, week in and week out. Did you just hear that cackle coming from our technical director, Nick? Because he was.
I thought the number one stood for the number of postseason victories.
This might be the wrong finger.
Since 1957,
this might be the wrong
right?
finger that some fans
in
would like to
our
use.
lifetimes. He's too young, but yes.
Hey, look, Lions, winners of 3 straight. They're going on the road to Houston. Now, they've done all 3 of those wins at home. Yeah. Matthew Stafford has all 4 of their wins this year. They're 4-3. Right. Have come from behind victories. They're going to Houston, and a Houston team that looked dreadful against the Broncos. What do you guys expect to see today from the Lions?
I never know what to expect of the Lions. I refuse to get on this bandwagon. I'm older than you, Justin. Jack, back me on this one. I was around for the silver stretch. I was around for another one, bites the dust in the early 80s with Billy Sims. I will say this, the secret weapon apparently is Jim Bob Cooter.
Bob Cooter.
Who has done a heck of a job with Stafford, who has been underwhelming during his first 7 years, and now finally appears to be the hot shot that they drafted years ago. If that continues, then you might be competitive, but I am not yet holding my breath. So,
Jack, are you worried at all about this defense? Because this Lions defense has been giving up play after play, really, and they make maybe the big stop, and then, of course, they've ended 2 games on interception, so I can't take everything away from them. They've made big plays in moments. Jim Caldwell calls it comfortable with being uncomfortable. Are they going to be a little bit more uncomfortable, or are they going to have a little bit of a Brock Osweiler under control today?
You know, that kind of reminded me of some old Tigers closers who would come in and load the bases. They'd always put runners on base, look like they're going to blow it, and then they would somehow make a play at the end to get a save. That's kind of like this team. It's just made enough plays at the end of the game after being shredded for much of it. Yeah. But they have so many injuries on the defense. People don't want to hear about injuries.
No.
But when you have Darius Slay out of the lineup, you know, DeAndre Levy, we've seen him once.
Yeah,
I think he's still alive.
I think we might be done with him.
You know, and then you've got Ziggy Ansah, and he hasn't been himself. So this has not been the defense that the Lions thought they would have, and to have 3 straight wins, 4-3. I understand what you're saying, John. Not saving up for Super Bowl trip, but this has been a little bit better than most fans expected.
Yeah, Brock Osweiler and DeAndre Hopkins are going to probably try to take the top off the Lions defense a little bit this afternoon. I see maybe that Lamar Miller helping open up the run, but look, do you think the Lions get the win today? Because if they do, this is 5-3 then, and then all of a sudden you're really, really thinking about this team as a playoff contender.
Every Lions game.
No, you are.
Every Lions game is one possession. It usually comes down to Matthew Stafford. Does he make the play or does he throw the pick? And I expect the same thing today. You know, do you win by a field goal? Do you lose by a field goal?
I got to know Bill O'Brien when he's at Penn State. I was inside that program for that season with 4th and long. He's smarter than Jim Caldwell. There, I said it. I'm going to go Texans. Sorry, Lions fans. I said it.
There's nothing wrong with picking against the Lions because if your heart tells you one thing, usually it goes
Coaching
the other way.
IQ barometer is not going to favor the Lions much this year.
I'm afraid not.
No. Yeah. What do you guys think? Coming up next, it's Ask the Analyst. So use the hashtag 7SportsCave. Get your tweets in right now. Mike Foss will join the show right after this quick break, and we'll be talking what you guys want to talk about. That's coming up next on the Suburban Ford. Oh, I got to make it now. 7 Sports Cave. Get in there.